Morning, everyone. So, in the last class, we have just completed about disaccharide, right? Sucrose, maltose, and lactose. So, among those three, as I said, they might be asked for you 1 marks or else 2 marks. It depends. So, the most probable question from those three disaccharide will be 1 mark question. So, there we will get some twisted like questions. So keep eye on those important points. What are I said? So today we will start again a polysaccharide. So poly means already we know many, right? So the many more than what I say, more than 10. I mean 2 to 10 is nothing but oligo. If the more than 10 monomeric units are present in any carbohydrate, then such carbohydrates will be categorized as a polysaccharide, right? So these polysaccharides contains large number of monosaccharide units, right? Already we know what is the definition of this. Poly means many. Polysaccharides consists of, right, number of monomeric units. I mean, sometimes we say n number of monosaccharide units. So these are most commonly encountered carbohydrates in the nature. So that means they are the most common, saccharides which can be available in our nature, when we can say. So that means polysaccharide. First point will be polysaccharides consists of polysaccharide consists of n number of monomeric units or monosaccharides, when we can say units, and those are called as what? Polysaccharides. Already we know about this. And now coming to the next point about this, the polysaccharides are the most common, most commonly available saccharides in our nature. They are the most common carbohydrates, when we can say. Most common carbohydrates in nature. So that means more commonly when we can get these polysaccharides in our nature. So that means, see here, so starch is the best example for this. I mean, the starch we get it from the food like rice, right? You already know why, because in biology you will study all these things, right? So starch is the one best example one I can say. And these are polysaccharides one we will get from the food itself, right? So the next point is they mainly acts as a food storage, right? They mainly acts as, very important point, they mainly acts as food storage. They mainly acts as food storage and structural or structural materials, right? Or they may be act as structural materials, right? So mainly starch, that means starch is present in where? Starch is a polysaccharide, and which we can get it from the plants, right? So starch acts as a storage material in the plants, right? So that's why they mainly acts as food storage or structural materials, right? And some examples about this is starch, cellulose, right? These are the common two, and glycogen, right? Already we saw glycogen is also one of the most common example of about what polysaccharide, right? So among these, polysaccharides, the most common are starch, cellulose, and the glycogen, right? So we will just see, just detailed study, brief study, right? So not in detail, we just go in brief, right? So, so coming to the starch, first of all, it is an example of what? Again, our polysaccharide. Starch is the one best example for polysaccharide. So starch is a polysaccharide which is present in a plant, right? It is a polysaccharide, we all know it will, which is present in plant. This is very important. So where does the starch occurs means we can get the starch from what? Plants, right? These are present in the plant and it is made up of with two components, right? It is made up of with two components. It is made up of with two components, amylose and amylopectin. Amylose and amylopectin. So these are the two components from which one we can get this starch, right? It consists of 15 to 20% of amylose, right? That means in starch the contribution of amylose is 15 to 20% and rest all 80 to 85% is what? Or amylopectin. That means in starch there are two components. Among those two components, amylose is of about 15 to 20% and the amylopectin is of about 80 to 85%. They contribute for the formation of what? Starch, one we can say. And amylose is, right, very important. Amylose is water insoluble component. Amylose is, it is insoluble, amylose soluble, but amylopectin is not soluble. Sorry. Amylose is water soluble, right? It will be soluble in water molecule. But amylopectin is water insoluble component. This amylopectin is water insoluble. It will not dissolve in water. So why? Because see, if it is not dissolving in water means one we can directly say whenever the compound is soluble in water means that particular, whatever may be the compound, that particular compound is able to react with what? Water. Or one you can directly say that this compound is ready to form a hydrogen bonding with water molecule. You remember this point, whenever, whatever the compound it may be, whenever the compound reacts with water molecule, then there will be a formation of hydrogen bonding, very important, right? So then there will be a formation of, that means this amylose is able to form a hydrogen bonding, so that's why it is getting soluble in our water. But in case of amylopectin, it is not the case, right? So this amylopectin is not forming a hydrogen bonding with what? Our water molecule. So that's why it is insoluble part, one we can say. That means starch is made up of with two components, amylose as well as the amylopectin. So if we go for the contribution for amylose as well as for the amylopectin, then amylopectin contributes of about 15 to 20% in the starch, and amylopectin concentration is more, one we can say, right? Its contribution is huge as compared to the amylose, and whose contribution for the formation of starch is nothing but 80 to 85%. And that means amylose, and among amylose as well as amylopectin, amylose is water soluble part and amylopectin is water insoluble part, which is present in our what? Starch, right? So this is about just brief discussion about the starch. So coming to the cellulose, right? The next example. So the cellulose is also one of the main, common example for what? Polysaccharide, right? Cellulose. Cellulose polysaccharide mainly present in plant. So this is also, this component, this type of polysaccharide also one we can get in where? Plants only, right? So as I said, these polysaccharide one we can very easily get these polysaccharide in the nature. So in the same way, the cellulose is also present in where? It is present in again in the plant. So cellulose is made up of with beta D, right? Beta D glucose, right? Beta D glucose units, beta D glucose units held together, beta D glucose units held together by C1C4 beta glycosidic linkage, same as we saw linkage, that means glycosidic linkage. We already know C1 of one glucose will be having a bond with C4 of other glucose to form a big molecule like cellulose. These are only glucose is not present in two units. It will be of n number. That means continuation one we can say. Like I will show you, right? So this is the case. Beta means this is the case, right? So if you see in the book, so please go through the book. You will get more and more information like this. So why? Because they are present in n number. So thus the chain will be continued like this. Again, the chain will be continued, one we can say like this. Chain will be continued. That means C1 of one glucose will be having a bond with C4 of other glucose unit to form a beta glycosidic linkage. Why? Because here alpha beta plays a very important role, right? So that means beta glycosidic type of linkage, one we can say C in case of what? Cellulose. Coming to the last one, that is nothing but the glycogen. So this is very important, right? Glycogen is present in where? Animals, right? So glycogen is one more example for, right, polysaccharide. So glycogen is it is a carbohydrate stored in animal body. It is a carbohydrate stored in animal body, as glycogen. So that means here the one very important point is the glycogen one we can get it from where? From the animals, right? So but what about starch and cellulose? Those two type of polysaccharide one we can get from what? Plants. But among these three, glycogen is little bit different. That means we get this glycogen from the animal. So that means it is a stored part of animal one we can say, right? So this is first point. And next, it is also known as animal starch, right? It is also known as, it is also known as animal starch. Animal starch, because structure similar to amylopectin, because its structure is similar to, its structure is similar to glycopectin. So don't forget, glycopectin means it is a component of starch. So this is also called as animal starch because its structure is similar to glycopectin, and glycopectin is a component present in whey starch. So that's why this is also known as animal starch. Very important point. So now the last point is, it is present in liver. It is present in liver. It is present in liver, muscles and brain, one we can say. Very importantly, it is present in muscle as well as in liver as well as in brain, right? So this is all about today's class. So in the next class we will see some important characters of about carbohydrate, and then later almost this chapter is coming to end. I mean, vitamins are not there for you as per the revised syllabus, so I can skip that part, and then we can directly move towards the right. We can directly move towards what nucleic acids, right? So I require still 4 to 5 classes to complete this chapter. So later we will see one more chapter, right? Thank you.